Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Michelle Stewart. Here are the stories that we are following today, July 12, 2013. Tallahassee braces for reaction to verdict in Zimmerman's trial. Explosion inside Chinatown, New York's building leads to partial collapse. iOctane, happy to take the mantle, was positive about closing Sumfest dance all night. Judge frustrated by jury problems in cartel murder trial. TNT, PM, ministers deny Medellin. St. Vincent senator rearrested, slapped with 9 charges hours after court dismissed cases against her. Details on these headlines and more when we return. Welcome back to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Michelle Stewart. This segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. Dale Landry has a simple message for everyone monitoring the high-profile George Zimmerman's trial in Sanford, where a verdict could come as early as today. What people have to realize, it does not end with the verdict. Landry, president of the Tallahassee branch of the NAACP, said, whatever the outcome, there is almost guaranteed to be an appeal of some sort. Prosecutors ending closing arguments Thursday. The defense team is scheduled to conclude its closing arguments today. After instructions from the judge, the jury will begin deliberations today as well. Landry and local officials, including Tallahassee Police Chief Dennis Jones and City Commissioner Andrew Gillum, met Tuesday at Blue Collar Restaurant on Brevard Street to talk about possible community reactions to the trial's end. With race the elephant in the room in the Sanford courthouse, Zimmerman, a Hispanic neighborhood watch commander, is charged with murdering Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teenager. Some officials are worried about a reaction similar to what took place in the aftermath of the 2007 Martin Lee Anderson verdict. In that case, not guilty verdicts were returned against Bay County guards who were with the black teenager who died in their custody. After that verdict, scores of students and community activists staged a rush hour sit-in protest in the middle of Monroe Street. I think what happened with Martin Lee Anderson, everyone saw that as the end, Landry said. We're here for justice, but in that order, to get justice, we need to remain peaceful and calm. Regardless of the verdict for this potential protest, but we've got no indication of a planned protest at this time. But of course, what could happen at any time very quickly, Jones said. We must be prepared to respond, but I don't want to overact. An explosion inside a Chinatown building on Thursday led to a fire for partial collapse including a dozen people injured and firefighters. 3 of those injured were hospitalized in serious conditions. Injuries to the other people, including the 4 firefighters, was less severe and included burns. An emergency call about the fire at the 5-story brick building, which housed a bus company and other businesses on the first level and apartments above, came in around 12:45, the fire department said. The explosion and fire shattered windows on the first 3 floors. When firefighters got to the scene, we opened the front door and could see the fire in the back, Fire Chief John Blaze said. It was unclear what caused the explosion on the first floor, and there was minor collapse inside of the building, but nothing structural. Building resident Tuscan Shung, who had been in his 4th floor apartment eating lunch at the time, described what he heard as boom, like a bombing, like an earthquake. He made it out of the building on his own and saw firefighters carrying a woman with a severely damaged leg. Resident Jingzhong Yang, who lives next door, said, I heard a big sound. It sounded like something being felled from the next door. It felt like the whole floor shaking. Gala Gimme Burn artist iOctane will close Reggae Sumfest, much anticipated 2013 dancehall night. a job Beenie Man has had for 15 of the last 20 years. Known for integrating positive and socially conscious subject matter into his music, drawing inspiration from personal experiences and Rastafarian's teaching. I-Octane agreed to take the spot many other artists shy from, said Summer Fest Productions Executive Director John Gozong. Gozong was speaking at the launch of the 21st Anniversaries event at the Ibura Suites in Montego Bay on Tuesday night, exactly 1 week and 5 days ahead of the July 21st through 27th International Reggae Festival. According to him, Beenie Man, who has been a staple on the festival, relinquished the position. Dancehall fans have become accustomed to staying awake with the doctor while he prescribes lyrical medicine into the early mornings hours. Other acts who have closed dancehall night include Vybz Kartel and Elephant Man. Beenie is getting his wish with I-Octane stepping forward, stated the Summerfest Productions executive. The state came under criticism yesterday from Supreme Court Judge Byron Sykes for its failure to provide sufficient jurors to try the murder case of popular entertainer Vybz Kartel and his two co-accused. Sykes blasted the state after 2 attempts to select a 12-member jury had failed. There were only 20 jurors in attendance, and at least 54 jurors were required for jury selection. The defense and prosecution are entitled to challenge a total of 42 jurors. Insufficient effort is being made by the state to have jurors here, the judge said. He pointed out that in Kingston there were more than 1 million people, and he could not understand why the state could not find even 60 jurors to be at court. The Detention and Courts Department of the police force is responsible for serving jury summons. Senior officers from the department, who has been summoned to court on several occasions because of insufficient jurors, has outlined the problems the police face in serving summons. After only 3 jurors were selected yesterday morning, jury selection was put off until 2 p.m. to get additional jurors. On resumption, Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions Maxine Jackson informed the court that there were no more jurors. Sykes remanded the 3 accused to return to the Home Circuit Court later the same day, when it is expected that there will be additional jurors. Kartel, whose name is Adasia Palmer, Lenberg MacDonald, and Nigel Thompson, are accused of the July 2011 shooting death of Catherine businessman Barrington Bossy Burton. Defense lawyers Tom Tavares Finston, Christian Tavares Finston, Michael Deans, and Tamika Harris said the men wanted the case to be tried because they've been in custody since 2001. Kartel was granted bail in the Burton case, but could not take up the offer because he faced another murder charge. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Basesso said yesterday every single member of her cabinet has denied ever meeting the Guardian board and interfering in the business of the media house. The Prime Minister was responding to questions from the media during a walkabout at John Peter Road, Charleville, in support of the United National Congress UNC candidate for the Chaguanas West by-election, Khadija Amen. On Wednesday, 3 members of the Guardian staff resigned, citing political interference in their newsroom by government ministers. Prasad Basesso refuted this claim on Wednesday, saying her government stands by press freedom and she was not aware of the tension at the Guardian. However, to be certain of this, at yesterday's cabinet meeting at the office of the Prime Minister St. Clair, Prasad Basesso put the questions to the ministers present. Today at the cabinet meeting, I asked every minister, did anyone meet as alleged in a newspaper to 2 ministers met Friday. Every minister who was at the meeting present today said no, they never met. There has been no political interference, and I know you know people feel so, but it's not that, she further said. Asked if there were any absent ministers, Prasad Basesso said some were out of the country, but she would also put the question to them upon their return. The report said 2 ministers of the government met at the Guardian House on Friday. So far, not a single minister admitted that they have met. All said they did not meet, she repeated. Persad Bassessor admitted that some of her ministers did not express concerns over reports in The Guardian, but took the legal avenue to deal with it instead. Opposition Senator Vinette Fedrick was Thursday afternoon slapped with 9 charges hours after the court dismissed her charges against her. Fedrick was granted bail at the Central Police Station in Kingston around 5 p.m. Thursday and is scheduled to appear in court Friday morning. Trinidadian Keith Scotland, one of Fedrick's attorneys, said 9 charges were preferred but did not detail them. We wouldn't want to speak too much about the charges because they are now before the court, he said. Eyewitness News shortly after Fedrick was released on Thursday. Andrew Pilgrim, QC, a Barbadian, who is also a member of the defense team, however, said, "We could say that they are alarming, similar to those that were before the court before." Witness News understands that Fedrick was charged with making false declarations, swearing falsely, and fabricating evidence. The 6 charges dismissed on Thursday relate to evidence that Fedrick submitted as part of a private complaint against Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves after the December 2010 general election. Those matters were thrown out, and in September 2012, Fedrick was charged that on Fedrick speaking during an interview said she did not have any comment at this time regarding the charges against her. You're watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
Million customers use Leica Mobile for affordable international mobile calls, connecting over 2.5 million mobile calls daily, helping our customers stay in touch with their loved ones, whether they be in Asia, Africa, Europe, or the rest of the world. Every 5 seconds, a new Leica Mobile customer joins our growing family, helping you to make affordable international calls across the world. Leica Mobile. Call the world for less.